championship. Virginia and their all-in winning attitude has placed them in the final against ACC foe and goal-scoring machine Florida State. The trophy will be fought for and won next on the U. Here's how they got here. Virginia, stunning performance, a 3-1 victory over a very good Texas A&M. Florida State behind Shayna Williams. 2-0 over Stanford, setting this one up as we welcome you in. And thank you for joining us. Glenn Davis alongside former U.S. Women's National Team midfielder Julie Foudy. Here's two teams that have met twice during the regular season. Florida State winning both of those matches over Virginia. But they're two programs with history who today need to put a national championship in their trophy case.
It's crazy when you think about the history of these programs that neither one of them have a national title. And just as you said, Glenn, Virginia has been unstoppable scoring on teams this year. 86 goals to lead the nation, #1 offense, and yet Florida State is the only team that they cannot score on. So can they figure out that piece of the puzzle today will be interesting to see.
Well, in the semifinal #1 against Texas A&M, they scored goals, and they came from a variety of sources.
And this is why they're so good, because they get first service from Morgan Bryan, U.S. Women's National Team player, to players like Doniak, 20 goals on the year, under 20 national team star. And then you also have this danger on set pieces. There, Emily Sonic coming from the back line, one of the most productive back lines in the nation as well. And then you also get production off your Brents. Alexis Schaffer coming in to finish the game. The third goal for Virginia, and they're dangerous from everywhere.
Maybe the hottest striker in the nation, Shayna Williams for Florida State.
And what an addition Shayna Williams has been for Florida State this year. Vanderbilt transfer coming over, 4 goals in the last 2 games. She brings pace, she can get in behind defenders, she can turn, as you saw in that first goal. She is a threat that Virginia's going to have to be very conscious of.
They meet for the 3rd time this year, but the stakes at its highest. A national championship. Who will take it? Virginia or Florida State? Lineups opening kickoff next. Brave their names on the NCAA Women's College Cup. Today, who joins that elite company? Welcome to the NCAA Women's College Cup presented by Northwestern Mutual. Virginia against Florida State. Glenn Davis alongside Julie Foudy. Here is the Virginia lineup, and it has changed.
Usually a 4-4-2. Steve Swanson going with a 4-5-1 today. And in particular, Colafrico and Morgan Bryan key for Virginia today. They keep that team humming.
Florida State 23-1-1. Mark Krikorian taking over the program in 2005. Here's how they look.
And responsible for Florida State's success in that 4-5-1 is Grubka, the senior center back, one of the best in the nation.
Virginia in the navy, Florida State in white. It is game on here in Boca Raton for a national championship. Referee Josh Wilkins. Again, these two teams played during the regular season. Both were 1-0 Florida State wins. And the game's first goal in this one will be so vital. And maybe we'll be able to dictate the terms in winning a national championship. Both programs looking for their first. And it is Virginia. And they'll earn the game's first corner. So penetration out wide, something that Steve Swanson wanted.
And a nice start for Virginia because they want to establish that rhythm. They want to dictate the pace of the game. And right away, Virginia getting that.
Swanson, 15th year. We had a wonderful discussion with him last night about this game. He's also an assistant for the U.S. Women's National Team. 25 seasons as a head coach in the college game. Virginia off the corner. A lot of movement towards the near post. Takes a deflection. Goal kick, Florida State. Mark Krikorian has been to 7 college cups. In 07 and 13, they lost in the final. He has done it at all levels as a women's coach, under-19 U.S. coach, WUSA with Philadelphia. And actually won 2 national championships at the Division II level with Franklin Pierce. But we've got 2 of college soccer's intelligentsia here today.
Oh, yeah, it's no surprise that these 2 have been leading their programs for so long, so well.
And so many great teams did not get here to this College Cup Finals. It is a long, grueling, and a very condensed women's college schedule. that you've got to navigate. And now it's Virginia in possession. Can they get their possession game going today? He's headed away by Megan Reed. It'll be a throw into Virginia here. Look there at Carson Pickett, who's got 2 goals and 13 assists. Such a vital piece to the midfield of Florida State. Good look there at Megan Reed from Orinda, California, only a freshman for Virginia. Megan Campbell feints and will now take the set piece. Florida State have loaded the box up. They are very aggressive. They are very athletic. Headed away. Second ball picked up top of the box. Swing and a miss from Isabella Schmidt from Germany. Big space out wide now for Virginia. Doniak, and her ball is a flat one, goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Cassie Miller.
And for people who are familiar with how Virginia plays, they're probably not as familiar with seeing them in this system, this 4-5-1 turning into almost a 4-3-3 when they attack, because it's something they just haven't played a lot. And talking to Coach Steve Swanson last night, he said, it just felt like we needed another player in midfield. That's how much they respect that Florida State 5 in the middle.
Now, you also mentioned that it would take a little bit of the workload and the amount of running that Morgan Bryan and Danielle Colaprico might have to do to that 3 set of Florida.
Yeah, because when you spend so much of your time with players like Colaprico and Bryan defending, and then you want them on the ball playmaking, you just don't have the energy for it sometimes.
Now, what's interesting about this is a clearly measured, very tactical matching of wits between 2 coaches here today. Take a look there at the busy Jamia Fields. Boy, is she athletic, and she can get it done out wide for Florida State. Virginia off the throw here. Clock ticks down in the college game. Cross took a deflection, and it's another corner. So positive sign here that Virginia is getting into the final third of Florida State and earning some corners early.
And this is exactly how they wanted to start, because in the last 2 games against Florida State, they've gone down early and they've been on their heels most of the game.
Danielle Colaprico, so talented, a senior from Freehold, New Jersey. Been so vital for Virginia to take the corner, especially in the absence of Morgan Bryan, who was away with national team duty. To the near post. Comes into the box, punched away. Second ball. Is it a shooting opportunity over the top? Time now for Planning for Success, presented by Northwestern Mutual.
Here are some of the coaches' keys today. Talking to them, Virginia, dictate possession and rhythm. That's going to happen through Colaprico and Morgan Bryan. And then limit that service into Shayna Williams, who's that target forward for Florida State, who's been so good in the postseason. And for Florida State, disrupt the play of that midfield. Don't let them establish that rhythm, and be dangerous and great on set pieces. And they have, on top of that, that long throw-in that acts like a set piece with Megan Campbell, their left back, who can launch it like a rocket about 50 yards.
Yeah, defending that long throw-in today, also another challenge for Virginia as they push back Florida State. Good pressing play there. Coming from Brittany Radcliffe. Flick on. And it came from Dagny Brynjasdottir, who is such a talented sort of false number 9, wearing the number 7 in behind Shayna Williams. And boy, you could say a lot about her, the Icelandic international, Julie.
And she's a player that not only creates and play makes, but she can finish. 16 goals to lead the team this year.
Good look at her there.
One of the 7 internationals on a very global roster for Florida State.
This young lady, after transferring over from Vanderbilt, has brought that missing element, that defense stretching striker. He's also very good in tight spaces and can get turned like that. Shayna Williams now. She's got 4 goals in her last 2 NCAA matches. Defended well by Virginia.
And you can see the attention she draws. This is Morgan Brian having to come back from midfield to try and double in on her. And they're going to try and put immediate pressure on Williams.
Morgan Brian, last year's winner of the Matt Kerman Award, symbolic of the #1 female college soccer player. And she can make the pass like that. What a range of passing she has. Doniak now. He's got a diagonal run here. Ratcliffe made it. And the signal's crossed there. Megan Reed now for Virginia. Ringsdottir fouls her. It'll be a free kick at an angle. So the Icelandic international gives Virginia a free kick.
Just a little love tap early on to let them know you're there. Elbow right to the face.
Colaprico takes the majority of these set pieces. She stands over it. They've got movement to the near post. They hit a space in and around the penalty area, but it's clear. Megan Reed off the throw for Virginia now. Colaprico, wonderful defending there to not allow Williams to get her head up for Florida State. Ringsdottir. Michaela Hahn, who does such a great job of protecting the Florida State University back four, wears number 8 next to Schmidt in midfield. Grubka tried the big switch, cut out by Virginia, but they'll win it back in midfield now.
And there's those 2 holding central midfielders for Florida State. Schmidt, who just gave up the ball, and Hahn, who's on the ball pressing, but those 2 are going to stay right in front of the center back tandem.
Ratcliffe now tries to beat 2, breaking that play up. The dependable Megan Campbell from Ireland. And that's the young lady who's got the long throw today. Reed, Ratcliffe gets her head up, drives it across to the 6, easily handled by Cassie Miller. Gotta say, Virginia, you know, some of these key coaching points that Steve Swanson pointed out to us bearing benefits right now.
Yeah, he said, look, we're so used to holding the ball, and Florida State can be so disruptive that we have to be patient. We have to hold it and be patient. And I think that's going to be the hardest challenge for that is in your final third. Especially with Doniak. We've seen her just a couple times now. She's looking forward. She's the highest player. She's going to have to hold it up and play more of a target role, which is different than that 4-4-2 system.
Well, nice penetrating ball into midfield. Doniak in a lone striker role today earns a free kick. It allows Virginia now to push up the field here. Substitution is unlimited. If you are taken out in the first half, you cannot re-enter. McNabb played it in. Oh, what a story, Kristen McNabb. She missed the College Cup last year due to an ACL injury. Well, the moment it is for her to be back here on the big stage. Virginia went down in the semifinals last year to eventual national champions UCLA. Florida State got to the final. Could not get past UCLA, and basically Mark Krikorian said, hey, look, UCLA was better than us. And he said, if we had won that game, we wouldn't have been the better team. Pretty refreshing.
I know, he said it was soccer justice. They deserved it. You love the candor of Mark Krikorian. We just weren't good enough.
No nonsense. Brynja's heads it forward. 16 is Carson Pickett. Responsible two-way player, just an absolute assist machine. There is Mark Krikorian. 16 goals for, none against in the NCAA tournament for Florida State.
And you can see Florida State lining up, knowing Megan Campbell's coming with that long throw. This is a first good look at it. They're going to target a Grubka, usually on that near post.
And it comes to the edge of the 6. Who's going to pounce on the second ball here? Williams tries to get turned and denied. Virginia wanted a free kick. Don't get it. It's clipped in over the top, overhit. And Virginia avoids the danger. But you're right, Julie. This long throw in today is an incredibly big piece of this game. As we look at the Women's College Cup storylines, Virginia seeking a first title, 3.5 goals a game, 88 goals scored. Florida State also seeking a first title. Their third national championship game they've been in, 19-0-1 in their last 20. And we could add a bunch more to that too, probably.
540 minutes
There's one.
They've gone. Let me add it to it without allowing a goal against. That was against Notre Dame for Florida State. That was the last time. 540 minutes. They're a tough one to break down. But if anyone's going to do it today, at 3.5 goals per game, that Virginia average, that's ridiculous.
#1 goal scoring team in the nation. And they get goals from a variety of places. Defenders have scored 16 goals amongst them for Virginia. Campbell. Here's Reed now. Higher pressure now coming from Florida State. Doniak has a big day of holding the play up for Virginia. Did it there beautifully. Morgan Bryan weaving her way through midfield. Kylie Torres. Iordanu now. Bryan again. Thought about switching it and held it up. It's her decision making that could be the difference here today, Julie.
And getting a center back like Sonnet through like that. Look how she steps and draws 2 defenders. Trying to pull one of those midfielders to her and open that flank up. But that's exactly what Virginia wants to do right there, because they broke the pressure of Florida State. And the beauty of Florida State's defense is they apply immediate pressure when they lose the ball.
Doniak lays it back. Here's Bryan in a good position to make the pass. Takes a deflection. Another corner for Virginia. Their third of the game.
Only 15 minutes in. Third corner kick for Virginia. And look how Florida State lines up. They put 2 post players. We got that. And then they've got 3 that are zoning here and only 3 man marking. So look at those Virginia players. They've got an easy, clear run to the goal. We'll see if they can get in those gaps.
To the far post it comes. What an opportunity, because at that far post, if that's driven across the face of goal by Iordanu, you may have a wonderful chance.
And here's Morgan Bryan dictating that pace. She's trying to tell her player, Shafford, where to go, wanting her to get wide. U.S. women's national team player, bags are packed, ready to go to Brazil. The U.S. team is already down there. She's joining them tonight with Steve Swanson on a midnight flight out of Miami. She said at the beginning of this week, she said, I'm heading out. I hope it's on Sunday, not on Saturday.
Yeah, don't forget, stay with us at halftime. We will break down the U.S. drawn in Group D. 3 very different teams for the 2015 FIFA World Cup in Canada. We'll get some of Julie's thoughts on the U.S. opponents. Headed forward, Shayna Williams has got a bit of space here. Chance to get opened up, big long touch, sweeping tackle from Colaprico. From her holding midfield position to extinguish that attack. Brynja's left-footed cross is picked off at the near post by Morgan Stearns.
And this is what's going to happen. You're going to have to occasionally have a center midfielder, as you're going to see number 24, Colaprico, come in and cover for that center back position. And what a nice play by Danielle Colaprico.
Senior, complete player. Steve Swanson couldn't say enough about her and her play and her leadership in the absence of Morgan Bryan when Morgan Bryan went away to play for the U.S. in the World Cup qualifying.
And probably doesn't get the attention she deserves because so much attention has been put on Morgan Bryan. But what a player on both sides of the ball. She is box to box.
And don't be surprised to see her get forward, because she can. It may not be a day she does it a lot. Koivisto knocked it inside. The right back for Florida State had a wonderful game against Stanford. A very good Stanford, by the way. Friday, ESPNU brings you coverage of the 2014 NCAA Men's College Cup with a winner-go-home doubleheader. 4 teams vying for a shot at the national title. We know who they are now. It's Virginia, University of Maryland, Baltimore County at 5. Providence, UCLA at 7:30, presented by Northwestern Mutual. And that will be coming from Cary, North Carolina. Interesting field of 4. Some wonderfully dramatic stories to get to the NCAA Men's College Cup final.
And Virginia in there again.
Big year for men and women's soccer at Virginia. Right here, the women trying to win a national championship. Virginia's daughter was blanketed there by Colaprico. That is a great matchup between those two players you're looking at right now. Pickett now. Isabella Schmidt from Germany now is eating space up here for Florida State. Gets it wide. Jamia Fields, who's been somewhat quiet. It's the cross, took a deflection. Florida State will get a corner now, and she will have to come alive today out wide for Florida State.
She was huge against Stanford. Jamia Fields all up and down that flank. They want to see her busy, because that means they have the ball and they're springing her to go.
Pickett off the corner. Koivisto knocked it back. Shot took a deflection and goes over the end line. Another corner. Down to senior Megan Campbell.
And look how Florida State lines up. You can see Crowley, their number 22 right here. She's going to be right on the goalkeeper for Virginia, on Morgan Stearns, and how disruptive that is for a goalkeeper trying to clear her line.
Driven into the back post. Boy, it looked dangerous. It almost looked like it might have caught the inside of that far post. Driven in. And Campbell will come to the other side of the field now. What is essentially another corner. Off the long throw-in now.
And the only thing limiting Campbell is that space on the sideline. If she had a little bit more room to run up, she's clearing that goal. Already, just with about a 3-step setup, she can get to that back post.
In it comes towards the near post. Virginia does a good job defending it and being first in the air.
Look how she has to navigate this sideline, trying to get a little bit more run up because it's so narrow here. But Virginia very aware, so they always front Grubka, that target on the near post, and put a defender behind her.
Campbell again flings it into the near post, and again it's headed out. This is great defending here from Virginia. Fields will get there and just knock it back into the Virginia half of the field. And tipped down towards the 23rd minute mark. Doniak besieged by 3 Florida State defenders, almost breaking loose. despite the fact that it's been tough to create chances against Florida State, Virginia in the 2 games prior felt they had good chances in both games.
The difference, of course, is you just aren't going to get as many, so you have to be precise. That play right there, Doniak, reminded me of the breakaway they had in the ACC final, where she gets in. Cassie Miller, the goalkeeper for Florida State, comes up with a huge save to keep him in the game.
Game pretty much devoid of chances right now. The 2 final teams standing, butting heads here. Schmidt with the outside of her foot to Hahn now. Hahn picks her head up, sprays it out wide. Koivisto has joined in the attack, tried an early ball into Jamia Fields. Fields has picked it up now and drives towards the end line. And took a deflection. It'll be a corner. So Jamia Fields now becoming a little bit more evident. Carson Pickett to take the corner. Grubka is a target. Whipped into the back post, headed top of the box, first time shot, second ball. Koivisto couldn't put it on target, but stirring the game up is Florida State here off set pieces.
And that was one of the keys to the game, because this is such a dangerous ball. You can see how hard those are to defend. And it's the second ball where Florida State's so good with that rebound. They just shape up knowing it's coming back out. Crowley, who's there in front of the keeper, Brynja's daughter, all she needs is a touch on that one. Dangerous look.
It was Morgan Bryant who initially headed away the delivery. Latsko has come on for Virginia. Had some great minutes off the bench. Shayna Williams earning the corner with a driving play, so we sense a little bit of a momentum shift here.
Yeah, and these corners are killers with Florida State when you have Grubka and you have a Brynja starter. Koivisto's in there. So many good targets they can play to. And I'm just not a big fan. Virginia does the same thing as we saw on the other side with Florida State, of that zonal marking.
Schmidt plays a semi-short one towards the near post. It brings Virginia out. She'll drive it back into the box, headed away. Latsko getting the first touch. Schmidt won it back for Florida State. Michaela Hahn now, another one of the unsung heroes in midfield for the Seminoles. Comley played back to Cassie Miller.
Florida State so good at just locking it in on the sidelines, pinching him down there. Then they pick that ball up again, as they just did.
Brynja's daughter, Hetla Iceland, towards the corner flag now. Couldn't control it. Schmidt tried to win it in a good area, but Virginia comes out of there. It was Alexis Schaffer. Doniak now. Tried to get turned, ran into a brick wall, and that was Grubka. And it's going to be a free kick, Virginia now. Kicking down towards 19 minutes in the first half left.
And you look at the 19-minute mark, really the first bit of this first half, the first half of this first half, I thought it was Virginia dictating the pace, but in this last 5-10 minutes, Florida State finding a little bit more of that ball, and especially those two unsung heroes we've talked about, Schmidt and Hahn, the holding midfielders for Florida State.
Not a lot of difference between two programs that are just models of consistency.
flipped it.